Okay, so on surface, KFC seems like it would be the all-American fast food franchise. It's called Kentucky Fried Chicken. Colonel Sanders is the mascot, but it's actually way bigger in China, where they have 13,000 locations there compared to 3,600 in the US. And a lot of people in China say their KFC is really good, but in America, it kind of sucks. Explaining all this, we have to actually go back to 1949 in Mao in China, where communism spread rapidly. So because of that, China cut all ties with the United States, so you couldn't trade, invest, or have any involvement in China as an American company. What happened was in 1969, the relationship between Russia and China began to sour because of border disputes. So because of that, they went from being allies for decades to now kind of being enemies. Because of that, in 1972, Richard Nixon, who was really anti-Russia, decided to start doing meetings with China and actually flew out there, becoming the first US president to ever visit. And because of that, he started relationships where China and the United States began to trade and also invest with each other. Now we have to cut to 1987, where KFC made the decision to become the first ever fast food chain to go to China. And this was a really big deal for the Chinese people because they never had American food before, so there were lines getting up just to have KFC, and it was actually seen as a luxury. The reason KFC became the first chain to go to China in 1987 versus McDonald's and these other guys is they sold chicken, but everybody else was selling beef. And in China, beef was really expensive, where it cost 4 times as much per pound as chicken did. And then also at the same time, Chinese people just consumed a lot more chicken at 8 billion pounds a year versus 3 billion for beef. The other benefit KFC had getting there early on was they were able to adapt very quickly with their menu. So one product they introduced was this one right here, which is congee. And for those who don't know what congee is, it's basically rice porridge, where it's rice diluted up to be more of a soup and they put other things in it. And this is actually really big in China, where they sell more of this in China than mashed potatoes in the United States. Another thing that KFC had working for them was they also had experience in Asia, where they entered Japan in 1974. And the reason they did that was because how infatuated the Japanese were with Christmas, despite only 1% of Japanese people actually being Christian. And the reason was because in the 1970s, the Japanese got very into American culture, particularly the peanuts and their Christmas special. So because of that, they wanted to celebrate Christmas as well by having traditional Christmas dinners, even though they didn't celebrate as part of their religion. Because that in 1974, when KFC went to Japan, they started to sell fried turkeys and also fried chicken directly on Christmas, and it became a Japanese tradition that's still done today, very similar to how Jewish people go to Chinese restaurants on Christmas. What's crazy is, while a lot of Americans look down on KFC, saying it's the worst fast food fried chicken and Chick-fil-A is much better, in China and Japan, it's actually seen as this luxury brand, where KFC is only focused on putting themselves in luxury malls, and it's honestly treated more like Starbucks there. Crazy to think about, seeing how that's the opposite of the US strategy, where Colonel Sanders in 1979 in his final interview openly said the company that bought him out completely ruined the brand, and it has come out that KFC actually focuses on opening in poor neighborhoods in the United States. Crazy is, because KFC is good in Asia, it likely will surpass McDonald's, where there's 44,000 McDonald's currently worldwide versus 33,000 KFC, but they still are growing rapidly in Asia and also in West Africa right now, so it's very likely they'll hit 50,000 locations before McDonald's does. This is sort of the ultimate example of one man's trash being another man's treasure in the form of fast food, and with that, I'm Charles Pearl. Subscribe to learn something.